This is Nightline, and I'm Liyana Hassanel. News making the headlines. Extreme poverty rate drops to 0.09%. PM targets full eradication by March 2026. And 46 preschool children among 116 killed in Sudan's RSF attack on Kalogi. The headlining story. At least 116 people were killed in an attack by Sudan's Rapid Support Forces, RSF, on the Kalogi locality in the state of South Kordofan. The victims included 46 children who were attending a preschool that was among the sites targeted. Two military sources from the government-aligned Sudanese armed forces said the RSF attacked the kindergarten on Thursday, then later targeted civilians who had gathered to help amid the aftermath. The city's hospital and a government building were also reportedly bombed. Communication blackouts in the area have made it difficult to confirm casualties, but the sources warned the death toll could climb even higher. The Sudan Doctors Network initially reported on Thursday that at least 9 people were killed in deliberate suicide drone attacks in Kalogi town, which they said were carried out by the RSF and its ally, the Sudan People's Liberation Movement North, targeting the kindergarten and several other civilian facilities. Malaysia is now among the small number of countries approaching the total eradication of extreme poverty, driven by the Madani government's targeted and inclusive policy measures. Prime Minister Datuk Seri Anwar Ibrahim said the extreme poverty rate has dropped to just 0.09%, calling it clear evidence of the government's comprehensive efforts to ensure all communities are supported. Speaking at the Rancakan Madani program on Sunday, Anwar added that Malaysia's third quarter economic growth stands at 5.2%, among the strongest in the region, while the unemployment rate has also continued to decline.
Dan saya beritahu kepada pegawai termasuk unit penerasan, kalau 0.09% jumlah yang terkecil yang boleh dan mampu kita selesaikan sebelum suku tahun pertama 2026. Begitu juga kadar pengangguran sekitar 3% bulan September.
At the same event, the Prime Minister also launched the People's Welfare Insurance Scheme, or SIKR 3.0, which offers higher compensation to support low-income households. Under the upgraded scheme, payouts now stand at 13,500 ringgit for natural death, 26,500 ringgit for accidental death, and 13,500 ringgit for permanent disability caused by accidents. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister said the government is allocating an additional 2 billion ringgit to help expedite outstanding tax refund payments, bringing the total allocation to 4 billion ringgit. The move aims to ensure taxpayers are not burdened by delays in receiving refunds owed to them.
Kita sediakan peruntukan 2 bilion ringgit untuk pulangan balik pembayaran ataupun kutipan yang lebih. Tetapi mulai bulan ini, sekarang juga kita tambah lagi 2 bilion, jadi 4 bilion ringgit untuk diagihkan sekarang. Sekarang ni. Hari Isnin, LHN akan cuba membayar kepada yang mana tertunggak ini.
He added that delayed tax refunds place unnecessary strain on taxpayers, especially small business owners who often pay early to avoid potential penalties. Later, during a town hall session, the Prime Minister reiterated that Malaysians have every right to express their views, including dissatisfaction with the government. However, he stressed that public discourse must be guided by knowledge, courtesy, and an awareness of shared moral values.
Boleh tegur, boleh kritik, boleh bagi cadangan balas, boleh bagi cadangan yang agak tegas, tapi tidak boleh menghina, mendera, mencerca dan menganggap pandangan dia seorang betul dalam keadaan yang sangat rejam.
He stressed that within Islamic political tradition, freedom is accompanied by responsibility and the capacity to assess issues in a fair and civil manner, and with a commitment to truth. During the session, the Prime Minister also drew attention to contradiction among groups that loudly champion anti-corruption efforts, while simultaneously supporting individuals who are clearly implicated in corrupt practices. At the same event, Datuk Sri Ahmad Zahid Hamidi stressed that the Madani government has always adopted a neutral approach when it comes to implementing national programs or policies, regardless of political leanings. The Deputy Prime Minister said the Prime Minister himself has never divided regions based on political geography, including in matters involving regional development or allocation of federal funding.
Kerajaan Madani tidak pernah melihat perbezaan politik sebagai asas untuk membalas dendam, tidak pernah. Tetapi orang yang menerima itu kerap kali tidak ada rasa syukur. La yashkurullah man la yashkurun nas. Tidak namanya bersyukur pada Allah Ta'ala jika tidak berterima kasih pada yang memberi.
Commenting further, Zahid, who is also the Rural and Regional Development Minister, said this was proven when opposition states also received large allocations through various regional development boards. Zahid was speaking as a panel member at a forum titled The Madani Government, Retrospective and Mapping the Journey Forward, held in conjunction with the Rancakan Madani program. At a separate event, Anwar announced that all royalties from his new book titled Rethinking Ourselves, Justice, Reform and Ignorance in Post-Normal Times will be channeled to underprivileged students across Malaysia.
With this Hearst publication in London, Penguin, now this one in Asia, and Hong Kong University Press, then of course I will get a lot of royalty. All right? So let me declare now that every cent of the royalty will be spent on poor students in this country.
The 240-page publication brings together Anwar's personal reflections and ideas on social justice, reform, and the challenges facing society through what he describes as post-normal times. During the launch on Sunday, Anwar also took time to pose for photographs and signed more than 50 early bird copies. The MCA has dismissed any possibility of joining Perikatan Nasional, which includes PAS as a key component of the coalition. Party President Datuk Sri Wee Ka Siong said this is due to the ideological leanings of PAS, which are not aligned with the expectations and values of the Chinese community. Speaking at the MCA General Assembly, he noted that repeated controversial remarks by some PAS leaders have made it difficult for non-Islamic parties to find common ground with the PN coalition. He added that such dynamics might change only if PAS were to undergo reforms and to adopt a more moderate approach that resonates with Malaysia's multiracial society. Separately, we said MCA will reassess its strategic position within Barisan Nasional should UMNO continue to pursue political collaborations outside the coalition, particularly with DAP.
If you continue to do that, that's the end of Barisan Nasional spirit, then I can make my choice. Okay? Would it be very clear that?
He also clarified that the issue of a successor to the MCA presidency, a position he has held since 2018, was not discussed at this year's assembly. For now, he said the party's focus is on strengthening its long-term relevance rather than internal leadership changes. Residents in 41 villages across 12 river estuaries in Terengganu are being urged to remain vigilant as king tides are forecast to cause flooding through Wednesday. In Kemaman, water levels rose to nearly 4 meters, already inundating 5 villages. The affected areas include Kampung Bakau Tinggi, Kampung Geliga Jambatan, Kampung Kuala Kemaman, Kampung Pengkalan Cicar, and Pulau Skepang. A check in Kampung Bakau Tinggi found several locations submerged in up to 0.3 meters of water due to the high tide phenomenon. District fire and rescue teams are also monitoring the situation to prevent any untoward incidents. However, no evacuations to temporary relief centers were required as floodwaters receded quickly, and residents are advised to stay alert and follow updates on the evolving situation. Police have confirmed receiving a compact disc containing an audio recording related to the fatal shooting of 3 men in Malacca. Inspector General of Police Datuk Sri Muhammad Khalid Ismail said the recording was handed over to police by a family member of a suspect and is believed to be a telephone conversation between him and his wife prior to the incident. In a statement on Sunday, Khalid emphasized that the police are committed to conducting a thorough, professional and integrity-driven investigation and will not compromise on any form of wrongdoing. On Wednesday, Bukit Aman's Criminal Investigation Department Director, Dato M. Kumar, said a special investigation team led by a senior assistant commissioner had been set up to conduct a comprehensive investigation. Kumar also urged the public to avoid speculating or spreading false information that could undermine the integrity of the ongoing investigation. On November 24th, it was reported that the 3 men were shot dead by police officers after allegedly acting aggressively during an operation at a palm oil plantation in Durian Tunggal. During the incident, police fired in self-defense after an officer suffered serious injuries to his left arm after being attacked with a machete by one of the suspects. Negligence, specifically not paying attention while driving, is believed to be the cause of a fatal tragedy in which a sports utility vehicle, SUV, fell into a ravine in Kuala Berang, Terengganu. Hulu Terengganu District Police Chief Superintendent Shahrudin Abdul Wahab said the vehicle appeared to have driven straight into a section of the road that had been cut off before it fell 61 meters into the ravine. Shahrudin said preliminary investigations revealed that the SUV was not traveling at high speed when it approached the closed section, which had been cordoned off due to a landslide last year. He added that police also found no brake marks at the scene. Shahrudin also said that the warning signs and road barriers installed at the landslide site had reportedly been moved by irresponsible parties. The police will monitor the area and take legal action against anyone who removes or tampers with safety signs on the road. In the 5:30 p.m. crash on Friday, 52-year-old Hassan Shazali and 34-year-old Suzaima Che Aziz were traveling to Guamusang in Kelantan when the SUV they were in plunged into a ravine along Jalan Kuala Jeneris, Sungai Gawi, Areng. Both victims sustained severe injuries and were pronounced dead at the scene. Teenagers detained after Basika Laja stunt. This and more after this breather.
Fan nombor 1, itu memang kamu. Jangan tunggu. Vote laju-laju. Undi calon top 10, 37. Kita bagi kecoh. Nombor 1, bintang paling popular. You are the one. Kita tentukan. ABPBH 37. Satu keunggulan. Memang tiada lawan. Joe. Undi straight sampai 9 Disember. Scan the QR. Cepat undi-undi. Benda free. Tak payah banyak bunyi. Tak cukup. Kita ganda lagi.
Siapa yang betul-betul gegarkan sosial media anda? Jom kita cari di obrolan paling viral online.
Keindahan alam nan permai, jauh dari hiruk pikuk kota. Tradisi yang diwarisi, disantuni dengan penuh kesyukuran. Inilah kisah kampung yang kini terpilih, didendangkan demi manfaat bersama.
Okay, kejadian tersebut berlaku waktu pagi, lebih kurang waktu subuh. Lokman ini dia telah pun menetap 3 mangsa, iaitu pakcik dan juga sepupunya.
Linda bertanya kenapa dia buat benda ni dan dia kata akibat dendam lama dia. Seorang penganggur dihukum gantung sampai mati setelah disabitkan kesalahan membunuh 3 ahli keluarga angkatnya 3 tahun lalu.
Kiranya beliau gila ataupun tidak sioman, kenapa ada persediaan untuk melarikan diri.
Welcome back. Malaysia's hire purchase landscape is about to change, with new reforms abolishing the Rule of 78 and ending front-loaded interest for millions of borrowers. Nightline's Nurin Razmin breaks down what the changes mean and how they could make car and motorcycle loans fairer and more transparent.
The biggest shift to Malaysia's hire purchase system is the removal of the Rule of 78, a system which has long been criticized. Under the old rule, borrowers often paid for years without realizing that most of their money was going towards interest and not the actual loan. According to law and finance analyst Adila Jamal, the old system puts borrowers at a disadvantage, especially those who tried to settle early.
Okay, typically we take car loan for like 5 to 7 years, right? And then after 2 years, only 5,000 was deducted from there. You have been paying the interest to the bank, right? So they front load the interest. So bank has made their money in the first 2 years.
However, the reforms mark a major shift in how interest is charged on car and motorcycle loans.
On day one, when you start paying, you are already paying on the principal and interest, right? So now your effective interest rate is based on the new principal. So automatically when the principal is reduced and you calculate an interest against this lower principal, so obviously you are paying less interest.
So now with the new method, borrowers can finally see their loan balance fall in real time, making it clear how much goes towards the principal and how much towards interest. To show the difference between the old rule and the new system, hire purchase expert Adam Effendi breaks down how much borrowers actually end up paying.
Using the EIR, reducing balance method, by half of the tenure, you have only paid 50% plus of the total interest charges. So if you were to sell off your car or settle off the loan, there would have been more rebates using the EIR. But with the reducing balance method, it exposes you to the variability of the rates. If the OPR goes up or down, your repayment amount could change. The installment could go up or it could go down.
And with transparency now at the center of the new law, consumer advocates say Malaysians will finally know what they're paying for. The Consumers Association of Kedah President Yusrizal Yusof says the new system finally gives borrowers real savings and proper protection.
The objective of this amendment is to provide better protection and fairness to consumers in vehicle hire purchase transactions. Now, consumers can enjoy savings if they make early payments to financial institutions.
Now the end of the Rule of 78 marks a shift towards a more transparent and modern credit system. And as Malaysia moves towards fairer financing, the impact will be felt most by households seeking clearer and more accurate loan cost. Nurin Razmin for Nightline, TV3.
In Selangor, 2 teenagers who were seen riding their illegally modified bicycles recklessly and nearly crashing into a car in Putra Heights have been detained by police. Subang Jaya District Police Chief Assistant Commissioner Wan Azlan Wan Mamat said both teenagers who are underage were detained in Bukit Lanchang. In a statement, Wan Azlan said a police report was lodged at 5:13 p.m. on Saturday over a viral video showing the duo riding the modified bicycles, known as Basikal Laja, in a dangerous manner. Initial investigations found the incident happened at 5:55 p.m. last Thursday. The teenagers travelling from Perseran Putra Perdana towards Kampung Tengah were seen cycling dangerously, failing to stop at a traffic light and nearly colliding with a moving car. Acting on the information, police traced and detained both teenagers before taking them to the Subang Jaya District Police Headquarters to record their statements. The case is being investigated under the Road Transport Act for dangerous cycling involving Basikal Laja. The teenager who drowned after falling into a large drain while trying to retrieve a ball in Taman Prima Saujana last Thursday was laid to rest this afternoon at the Sungai Kantan Muslim Cemetery. The body of 14-year-old Khalid Shahdan was found on Saturday evening in a water retention area near a supermarket. The compound of the forensics unit at Tengku Ampuan Nur Ashikin Hospital in Kajang was filled with family members and close friends, many of whom were unable to hold back their grief as they awaited the release of the body. The remains were then taken to Masjid Jami' Pekan Kajang for funeral prayers before burial at the Sungai Kantan Muslim Cemetery. Kalish was laid to rest beside his younger brother, 12-year-old Qayyum Shakil, who also died in the same incident. Kalish's body was discovered about 660 meters from where he is believed to have fallen after rescue teams detected a strong odor in the area. His remains were recovered at about 8:45 p.m. Qayyum's body was found on the night of the incident in Sungai Merbau, Kampung Sungai Kantan. Party gone wrong. Perp launched after fire kills 25. The details when Nightline returns.
Belajar kini lebih semangat dengan TV Tuition. Lebih 5,000 video pembelajaran, lebih 100 hos hebat, terdiri daripada selebriti dan guru berpengalaman. Ulang kaji jadi lebih seronok dengan lebih 10,000 soalan latihan, serta ulasan guru yang membantu anda faham dengan cepat dan mudah. Apa tunggu lagi? Langgan sekarang dan stream ditonton. TV Tuition, belajar ditonton, bijak sampai lulus.
Fan nombor 1, itu memang kamu. Jangan tunggu. Vote laju-laju. Undi calon top 10, 37. Kita bagi kecoh. Nombor 1, bintang paling popular. You are the one. Kita tentukan. ABPBH 37. Satu keunggulan. Memang tiada lawan. Joe. Undi straight sampai 9 Disember. Scan the QR. Cepat undi-undi. Benda free. Tak payah banyak bunyi. Tak cukup. Kita ganda lagi.
Bas dipandu laju, nyawa penumpang menjadi taruhan.
Dia sudah buat belum? Ada surat dia. Dalam sistem kita memang tak ada. Dalam sistem kita tak ada.
Pemasangan alat sistem had laju, bas penumpang terus dipantau.
Kita akan keluarkan surat wawang form. Nanti syarikat pergi ofis, dia bawa surat SLD pengesahan.
Saksikan 999 Selasa jam 9 malam di TV3 dan stream sekarang melalui Tonton.
Awak tengok dia tu tergedik-gedik.
Itu manja ke mengada?
Jom ikut saya pergi pasar malam.
Abang balik kuih tiaw goreng ni kari sedapnya.
Awak tengok berita ni. Ini ketagihan terlampau.
Adakah ini ada kaitan dengan psikologi?
Aduh, kadang-kadang rasa sakit dada lah.
Kena cek tu, jangan abaikan, kena ada pemeriksaan lanjut.
Nak bercuti, beli barang sekolah, nak puasa, nak raya. Pening kepala.
Isu bajet keluarga kita bincangkan Jumaat ini.
Semuanya di WCI TV3.
Dan stream sekarang ditonton.
The foreign news. Indian authorities on Sunday ordered an investigation and offered compensation to victims after a fire tore through a nightclub in Goa, killing at least 25 people. Goa Chief Minister Pramod Sawant called for a magisterial inquiry to determine the cause of the fire and assign responsibility for the incident in the village of Apora. The blaze, which broke out on Saturday night, was reportedly triggered by a gas cylinder explosion in the club's kitchen, causing the fire to spread rapidly through the venue. At least 4 of the victims were tourists, while 14 were club staff. 6 injured individuals were in stable condition and receiving medical treatment. The nightclub's manager has been arrested and an arrest warrant has been issued for the owner. Israeli strikes targeted the eastern area of Maghazi camp in central Gaza on Sunday, while the military carried out demolitions in the east and south of the enclave. The Zionist army also killed 7 Palestinians in northern Gaza. including a 70-year-old woman and her son. The escalating attacks in Gaza have led Qatar's Prime Minister to warn that the ceasefire in place since October 10th is at a critical moment, while calling for progress toward its next phase. He said the truce risks shattering if it does not move towards a permanent deal soon. In the meantime, Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu said that he expected to move into the second phase of the U.S.-sponsored ceasefire plan for Gaza very shortly. Meanwhile, Hamas said it was ready to hand over its weapons in the Gaza Strip to the Palestinian Authority governing the territory, provided that the Israeli occupation ends. Hamas chief negotiator and Gaza leader Khalil al-Hayya explained that the weapons are linked to the ongoing occupation and aggression and would come under state authority once it ends. He added that Hamas accepts the deployment of UN forces as a separation force to monitor borders and ensure compliance with the Gaza ceasefire, while rejecting an international force tasked with disarming the Strip. In other news, 18 people were killed in an airstrike on a town in central Myanmar. Officials said on Saturday that 2 bombs were dropped on Tabayan Township in Sagaing region on Friday evening, with one striking a busy tea shop. At least 20 others were wounded in the attacks. A rescue worker who arrived at the scene 15 minutes after the strike said 7 people were killed instantly, while 11 others later died in the hospital. The tea shop and about a dozen nearby houses were completely destroyed. Myanmar has been rocked by civil war since the military snatched power in a 2021 coup, and its battles with numerous anti-coup fighters have brought frequent airstrikes that often kill civilians. Sports now, the 2025 Thailand SEA Games. The national badminton team kicked off their campaign in style by easily dispatching the Philippines 3-0 on Sunday. The men's team event, which went straight to the quarter-final stage, saw Malaysia swiftly overcome the Philippines, as Leong Junhao awarded the squad their first point in the singles category by defeating Jewel Angelo Albo 21-17, 21-18. The second match saw a newly formed doubles pairing of Man Wei Chong and So Wu Yik extending Malaysia's lead with a commanding 21-10, 21-12 win over Solomon Junior Pades and Julius Villabrier. In the second singles match, Justin Ho secured the 3-0 victory for Malaysia by edging out Sharon's Villaflor 21-18, 21-19 in a hard-fought match. Malaysia now face hosts Thailand for a spot in the semi-finals on Monday. Earlier, the national women's team also secured their place in the semi-finals by defeating Vietnam 3-1 in the quarter-finals. Malaysia got off to a shaky start in the first singles match as Kayla Chana fell to Wen Tui-Ling 21-15, 10-21, 21-23. Malaysia then leveled the score when their second singles player, Wang Ling-Ching, outplayed Vo Ti Chang 21-14, 20-22, 21-14. The national team took the lead after world number 2 doubles pair Pearly Tan and Amtina secured a straight sets win over Pham Thi Ziu Lee and Pham Thi Kang 21-12, 21-8. Third singles player Siti Zulaikha Azmi sealed the 3-1 victory for Malaysia with a 21-19, 21-19 triumph over Big Feng Boy. Malaysia will next face Indonesia for a spot in the final. Turning to football, the Super League. 2 matches were played on Sunday night. Brunei DPMM FC claimed a dramatic 4-2 victory over Imigration FC, while Selangor FC cruised to a dominant 5-1 win against Penang FC. At the Hassanel Balkan National Stadium, visitors Imigration took an early lead, with Wilmar Jordan Gill scoring just 5 minutes into the match. Brunei quickly responded, equalizing 10 minutes later through Azwan Ali. Hakimi Yazid then put Brunei ahead in the 21st minute, making it 3-1. Hakimi struck again just 5 minutes later to extend Brunei's lead, but Imigration kept the pressure on, with Wilmar converting a penalty in the 71st minute to pull one back. However, Miguel Oliveira put the game beyond doubt just before the final whistle, sealing the 4-2 victory for Brunei. The victory lifted Brunei to 10th place with 8 points, just 1 point behind Imigration. And that concludes Nightline this time around. Before we leave, let's take a look as hundreds of people dressed as Father Christmas and St. Nicholas gather to ski in the Swiss resort of Verbier, celebrating the start of the season. With that, I'm Hassanel. Thank you for watching and stay safe, Malaysia.